And now let's bring in tonight's panel. Same panel we had on Selection Sunday, Matt Musil, and from Next Up on Sports Talk 790, Stan Norfleet, Chris Gordy. And let's remind everyone of our picks from 2 weeks ago. The success rate, 0.0. Now it's time to make excuses with the guys. Okay, Stan, Chris, Matt, it's excuses time. Go.
Listen, I don't know where to begin, but I'll start real simple. The dude that might be the number 2 or number 3 overall pick, my Alabama making it to the national championship, Brandon Miller destroyed my bracket. Historically terrible. 8 of 41 in the tournament. Bama gets bounced. Oh, let's go down here to Kansas. Oh, I think everything's good. Razorbacks ran all over them. They've got 3 NBA dudes as well. Texas, the Horns, I had them coming out of the Midwest. Once Marcus Carr got hurt, the momentum, the energy, their whole temperament changed. Miami, well coached by Jim Larinaga, they make a run, and there's that. That's all. And then Memphis, 19 seconds left. Controversial call. Penny Hardaway is livid. He called timeout. There goes my Memphis. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, me and Stan had kind of some of the same picks. I mean, Alabama, they literally played their worst game of the season against San Diego State, shot just 11% from 3. That's abysmal. Their star player, Brandon Miller, was god-awful this whole tournament. We took a chance on Memphis as a low seed. Keep in mind, guys, they had that first-round game against FAU. Memphis led with 5 seconds to go, and they couldn't hang on. Maybe we're talking about them in this spot instead of FAU if Memphis holds on that game. U of H, again, a team that their calling card has been elite defense all year. They did not play well at all defensively against Miami. I think if they even played some semblance of their typical defense, U of H is probably here instead of Miami. And UCLA, another one that got beat late in that Sweet 16 game to Gonzaga. They led with 13 seconds left in the game, couldn't close it out. So, like with everything, guys, close but no cigar.
At one side of the bracket, we have very similar. I had Alabama going. And Alabama just played a bad game, as you said. Memphis, look, it's like someone from Memphis told me, Penny Hardaway probably has the best athletes in a tournament, but he doesn't have the experience to get them all together on the same page when they need to be, like a Kelvin Sampson. I had U of H in Texas in the Elite Eight. I thought they would be there. I had U of H going in, and I had them beating Alabama in the championship game. U of H, we all know, just came up a cropper in that game. It just was not their night, and it was sad to sit there and just watch that team just kind of fade away down the stretch. It wasn't the way, if they lose on a last-second buzzer beater, you could live with, but that wasn't how they lost that game. And by the way, I don't want to hear about people, hey, I had Miami in 2 of my brackets. Oh, you had 10 brackets? Look, have some guts. Do 1 bracket, please. Do 1 bracket, and let's see what you're made of.
Well, with Miami, I thought Miami played Houston basketball better than Houston did in that one game. And I think momentum sometimes is a little overrated. We were talking about Memphis and this momentum down the stretch in the conference tournament game. But when I look at this tournament overall, certainly parity is something that's going to be discussed with the transfer portal. But maybe we're not paying enough attention to the teams that are ranked 10 to 25, that those teams are just so close together. There is very little margin for error. What would be your takeaway from this tournament thus far, Stan?
The first thing that jumps out to me, and not just with the Final Four, the overall tournament would be, and this will be a question Gordon and I will get into tomorrow morning, was this thing seeded properly? For example, you look at a Florida Atlantic team, came into the tournament with 31 wins. They're now up to 35 wins. First team since a title team, UVA in 2018, 2019. You go look all across the board. We see a 16 beating a 1. Down goes Purdue. I think we could go in all 4 quadrants and find examples of what are they doing playing them at this round.
And you're talking about an FAU team that lost 3 games all year, and they were a 9 seed. I mean, people talked about how dangerous they were coming in, and it was like, but you're a 9. You don't get any respect because you're FAU and you're coming out of Conference USA. To me, the overwhelming takeaway to me, guys, is we're talking about how surprised we are that these 4 teams are all here. The last poll of the regular season, the top 25, all 4 of these teams were ranked.
I think it's exciting. I know some will say, this is going to be the lousiest Final Four. I am optimistic. I hope it is a fantastic Final Four. And I remember the last time the Final Four was here. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember back, but there was a complaint that because the space was so large and the shooting percentages were down, that, these would really be lousy games. But the championship game was won on a last second shot.